Hi, everybody. Dom Taberry here, and it's time for the game. This is the game that team up north, and I'll tell you, Ryan Day said it this week. This is the game they plan for year-round. I want to bring our panel in. Adam King, 10 TV, and former Ohio State receivers. By the way, these two guys won 7 pairs of gold pants against that team up north.
I just want to say, you and I have 0 losses against Michigan as well. Just saying.
Dane Sanzenbacher.
So 3 of us have 0.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Couple receivers, 7 pairs of gold pants. I want to ask you guys, as former players, there's always bad blood between these two teams. But given the history of what happened over the last couple years and the scandal and were they spying and all that stuff, how is that added to this rivalry, you guys? And how personal do you think Ohio State and the players take that?
For me, I think it goes all the way back to how good C.J. Stroud was and the fear of him unleashing his throwing abilities on you. You cheat the first year, you go to the Final Four and you lose to TCU. The next year you cash out, win a natty. Even when the scandal comes out, and you guys still come and beat Ohio State fair and square. So, I mean, for this senior class, for these older guys, they haven't won yet. So, for me, the fact that if I'm one of those guys and I feel like, hey, we had a quarterback that's a generational quarterback, possibly the greatest quarterback to ever come to Ohio State, and they cheat and beat us, and then they came out and it was fair and square, and then they beat us again, I can't leave this place without a win. I wouldn't be able to sleep the night before or even the night after because I gave all of my effort, right? It's one of those scenarios where it's like, I'm willing to do anything to win. I will scratch, claw, bite, whatever to win.
Dane, you got your mean face on. I don't want to. You're fired up.
Because it's dawning on me that's the danger for this Ohio State team.
Yes.
You want something that bad too. That's why I think the challenge all week is going to be sticking to who they are. They are the better team. If they play relaxed, they play their game, it's a foregone conclusion. What you can get caught up in any sport really, but when you want something so bad, you can start to play outside yourself. You can start to do things that you don't usually do. Your breathing gets different. I'm serious. That's like boxers that can relax. It's just like when you get in those situations, as calm as you can stay. So I think the key really for this Ohio State team is tuning as much of that out. Sure, we all know that. We know the bad blood. We know the cheating allegations. We know all that stuff. Stay out of those weeds, play your game. You can reflect on it later because I think that can work against them if they go too far down that path.
You don't need motivation, do you? You're already motivated, but I mean, you don't want. Can you get too motivated?
Yes, absolutely. Because the other thing you have to remember is, on paper, you're the better team. I mean, and allowing yourself to play down to a competition or to stoop down to the level of these guys cheated, we've got to go beat them. These guys are the worst. You're better. Just go play the game. As you said, don't allow it to become. And then what happens is you let Michigan get in your head. And that's how they get an advantage in this game, is to take a good team and to have them spend the game more worried about who's on the other sideline. Oh, my gosh, what if I fumble the ball? I think back to last year before the game, and there were some conversations that were had, don't mess up. Don't make the mistake. That can't happen.
You know what? I'm
go
sorry,
ahead. No, you're fine.
Part of it, too, is this might be a tough year for Ohio State to play at home. Because I say that because they're going to feel the first thing that goes – our energy.
They're going to feel the fans.
So fans, if you're going to the game, you're going to play a role here because the first time things don't go right, you can feel it in that stadium. That like, oh, no, not again. So there's a lot of weight on this game that the goal of this player should be tune out as much as possible. If Michigan makes some plays early, do not listen to us.
And they're going to. I mean,
they're going to. So that's like bracing yourself for taking as much emotion out of this particular game as you can.
I will also say, I think that's what makes a championship team, and I think we're going to learn a lot about the Buckeyes. If they can go out there and just play the game as opposed to letting all that get to them, it's going to help.
Well, I got to ask, because I'm the guy that was always in the scrums and fights. Dane, how did you stay calm in big games? Because I got so hyped all the time, every time. I'm the guy who pushes.
Did you ever get a flag thrown?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't get flags because Dane would normally.
Because he would do it when the cameras weren't looking.
Dane will pull me out of there, but For games like this with past
Did you
history,
talk much trash?
I was an excellent trash talker. It's probably the best
It
part
all
of my
makes
game.
sense now.
Did you talk trash?
Hardly.
No,
Only
they
when I
didn't say
had
a
to.
word.
I had to save face sometimes when they're like, they got me on that one.
You know, I want to go back to something you just said, and this is for the fans out there watching this. You have a job. You're the 12th man.
Yes.
You paid a lot of money to go to this game, and I don't know if you heard what Coach Cignetti said last week, but he said they had to go to the silent count, and it changed everything for them. If you're going to the stadium, you got to do your part as the 12th man. You're on this team. You have to make noise because as players, you guys feed off the fans, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And if the other team can't hear the count, you guys played offense, that's miserable, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's hard to operate, and it's hard to operate effectively at a fast speed. For a 2-minute drill, when everything is signs and everything is communication, when you have a loud crowd, it just really rocks the offensive operations.
Well, the silent count also helps the defense. It allows them to kind of get a jump, and you know, we saw at
Maybe
Penn
get their signs. If
Yeah,
they
exactly.
can.
No, that's legally get their signs.
Sorry.
It's-
Too early, too early.
Yeah. But no, you're exactly right, and they delivered against Indiana.
So you got it's no bigger game, and for you Buckeye fans, there is no bigger game. And trust me, these guys played. They feed off your energy. When they make a big play and you go nuts in the stands, then they want to go. The next guy wants to go make it, and you get the goosebumps. You get the goosebumps as players, don't you?
Yeah, that energy from the Indiana game last week, if that can be doubled, that's enough. I mean, I was in the stadium and I hadn't heard it like that in a while, especially on the punt return. I mean, the place was rocking, and from then on, obviously, as Coach Cignetti said, it made a difference. So that is the role to play. If you can, for one game as a fan, take off your critic hat and play as part of the team, you'll have a huge factor in
Well,
a game like
Dom's
this.
up in the press box throwing popcorn every touchdown. We try to
you
get
go.
him
He
to
does his
dial that. They
part.
can't hear you up there.
You got to leave now, Dom. All I know is it's yes, it is entertainment. Sports is entertainment. But this isn't a movie. You don't wait till the end to clap. You need to be involved. You're the 12th man for a reason. Great stuff, guys. And hopefully Ohio Stadium is rocking so bad the Wolverines don't ever want to come back down here again. And hopefully we're talking about a huge win over that team up north. Keep it on 10 TV, 97.1 The Fan for all your Buckeye coverage needs.